meantime, Sugarboy Malinga and Sakkie Horns.
Jumbo Cash and Carry, the big one, proudly presents the SA Light Heavyweight title fight between Sakkie Horn and Sugarboy Malinga on the Mnet Supersport.
The punching ability of the South African champion says it all. Sakkie is a boxer who doesn't quit easily and relies on his speed to outbox his opponents. And here in Harold Colbert's Thulani Gymnasium, the champion goes through his paces with one objective in mind, to beat Sugarboy Malinga. Do you feel your last fight with Sugarboy Malinga was a fair decision?
I think the decision was fair because Malinga didn't want to stop beating low. I counted after the fight, I counted the punches, get low punches. There was 18 low punches in the fight. The ref also cautioned him about for 16 times. And that's why I think it's fair for the ref to stop the fight. 'n fikse bokser, sy lyf is altyd, moet altyd sterk wees. En hoe fikser jy is, hoe sterker jou maagspiere is, hoe fikser word jy. So jou asem kom eintlik van jou maag af. En dis hoekom my asem is altyd goed, want ek werk hard met my maagspiere. Ek dink my styl en my posisie, my balans is baie beter. Ek konsentreer baie op my balans om my balans reg te kry voor ek hou staan. Ek het gewoonlik geslaan terwyl ek in die lug is en nou staan ek vas as ek staan, so my houe sal meer stabiel wees en outomaties sal ek meer krag hê. Ek slaan nou ook meer met my heupe en my skouers. Dis hoekom ek nou meer krag in my houe het. Ons het 3 keer al beklei, die 4de keer gaan die laaste keer wees. En na die geveg sal Malinga moet ophou boks, want hy gaan nie vir sy loopbaan beëindig nie.
Well, there we have it from Sakkie Horn, South Africa's light heavyweight champion. The stakes are high and the title is on the line. Behind me is Sugarboy Malinga, who takes on champion Sakkie Horn for the 4th time. As you can recall, in October 1986, he completely outclassed Sakkie to win the South African light heavyweight title, only to lose it back to him 5 months later. In their last fight, after being well ahead on points, Sugarboy was disqualified in the 12th round. However, with all the controversy that surrounded that fight, this fight is destined to be make or break for Malinga. After a tough workout, Sugarboy assures me that nothing will stop him this time. Tell me, Sugar, in the previous fight with Sakkie Horn, do you feel you were robbed?
Yes, I think I was robbed because I hit him in the punch in the stomach. They said I hit him below the belt. But it wasn't below the belt because he knew the second one that he lost the fight. So they have to make another plan to retain his title.
And this time, what tactics will you be using?
Actually, I don't want to say anything. We have planned this fight with my trainer, Willie. Then it's going to be a good fight. We'll see you on the ring.
Well, Sugarboy, after this fight, what do you see for the future?
I think I'll go back for the world title because my aim is to fight for the world title.
Jumbo Cash and Carry, the big one, proudly presents 12 rounds of boxing between Sakkie Horn and Sugarboy Malinga on Mnet Supersport.
Ladies and gentlemen, the South African light heavyweight title fight over 12 rounds. This fight will be scored on a 10-point must system, no standing 8 counts. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the final round. There is no 3 knockdown rule. Our officials for this fight, your timekeeper is Mr. Brown Makotsi. The referee, Mr. Alfred Bukwana. Your judges, Mr. Clem Martin, Mr. John Duplessis, and Mr. Aubrey Schutter. And now introducing on my left, in the blue and white trunks, weighing in at 78.30 kilograms, currently ranked number 1 for the South African light heavyweight title, 34 professional fights, 30 victories and 4 losses, from Ladysmith. Weighing in at 78.30 kilograms in 38 professional fights today, 31 victories and 8 losses, fighting out of Boksburg in the Transvaal, the South African light heavyweight champion, Sakkie Horns.
Well, here we are back at Nasrec with the South African light heavyweight title fight contestants in the ring. It's been a night where we've had power failures outside, but certainly not power failures inside, because we've had some pretty quick knockouts here. We'll tell you something about those if we can during the tournament, during this fight. But right now, it's action as Sakkie Horn and Sugarboy Malinga come to grips for the 4th time in their professional careers.
Yes, Len, Sakkie Horn is 2-1 up, and so Sugarboy Malinga is looking for revenge. One thing I must say, at the start of this fight, Malinga hit him with a nice overhand right there. The ring does suit Sugarboy Malinga, being a small ring.
Yes, I wondered how Sakkie would go with it. He depends on speed to a great extent, and this is the smallest possible ring. And there, a nice overhand right caught Sakkie. Sakkie's going to have to fight rather than box here. And Sugarboy is walking into him with those right hands.
Yeah, Len, I thought it would be Sakkie boxing, not boxing Sugarboy, but they're mixing it here. I think they're both desperate for a win tonight.
Well, I think it's a case of there's no room to run. This is an old Joe Louis story. You can run, but you can't hide. And in a ring like this, you can't even run.
That's right, Len. Both fighters looking very aggressive here. Sakkie Horn's got to pick his left hand up, because he's being hit with the overhand right. But he's also using his jab nice and effectively. A very quick start for this light heavyweight South African title fight. Well, nice body punch there.
Like Sakkie is actually going to go in with a bit of a body attack, because he's trying to crowd Sugarboy and go into the body, hooks to the body, and then brings the hook up over to the head. Good movement, that. And he seems to have Sugarboy going backwards now. Nice start at the beginning by Sugarboy, but now it's Sakkie coming into his own.
That's right. The second minute of the first round, there has been some sharp punching from Sakkie Horn.
Sugarboy is catching Sakkie with overhand rights at times, and I thought Sakkie would be sticking and moving. But it's a different scene here tonight, Leonard.
Well, Sakkie's trying to actually corner his man. He looks like he wants to really get in the fight rather than be a boxer.
Well, he's getting in there and fighting and holding his own, Len. That's the strange part. He's actually matching Sugarboy Malinga for strength. You can see there with those uppercuts, he's matching him, he's landing some fist punches.
At the weigh-in today, they were both 78.3, so there's nothing in it from the weights.
Nice left and right hook there by Sugarboy Malinga. Horn's got to keep his hands up. Malinga's the stronger puncher here.
Malinga usually drops down his shoulder and gets right behind it and boxes from that stance, but he's not doing it tonight. He's more into a crouch.
Well, both fighters coming off a loss for the Intercontinental title are desperate to win here tonight. They're both looking for a good victory. And it's an excellent start to the first round here.
Well, it's certainly all action. The previous 36 rounds together have been action all the way, and this looks like it's going to be the same.
Well, it's 1-for-1 here, Len.
Punches going in from both men, yes.
I was just about to say Malinga's landing the punches, but I saw Horn also landing a few good punches. So it's 1-for-1 here.
Of course, more recently, Horn has been scoring inside the distance victories, which he wasn't doing earlier in his career, so he's probably throwing punches with far more authority now.
That's right. He's got a lot more authority. His punches are more on target than they used to be.
Yeah, Leonard, since he's moved to Harold Fulbrecht, it appears to have settled down.
Well, that was a good opening round, a good first round. We go into the corner of Sakkie Horn.
We'll listen to the advice there from Harold Fulbrecht. Not saying much at this stage. Then if I've got to judge it round, I'm going to call it an even round.
Well, I think the statistics tell you that. Sakkie Horn actually threw more punches, but Malinga landed slightly more, so it was a very even type of
So
round.
it's basically a 10-all round there. I don't think I'll be far wrong if I call that an even round. What do you think, Brett?
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Brian.
Well, round 2 going to come up in this jumbo cash and carry South African light heavyweight title fight between Sakkie Horn and Sugarboy Malinga, the 4th time round for these two. Horn leading 2-1 on the victory so far, but all 3 fights have ended controversially.
Horn starts off fast, again comes out with a straight left-right combination, but Malinga's defense looks good here in the second round.
Break. Rough it up. Box.
Malinga's got a very awkward style, and I think these two will have close fights every time they fight.
You know, it's a funny thing that the small ring, Malinga suddenly realized, I think, that he can't use that awkward jab behind the shoulder. It's not working in a small ring like this.
That's
and
right.
Horn the same, can't run.
That's right. You can see here in the second round, Len, that there's no love lost between these two fighters.
And both actually fighting totally out of character.
Both out of character. Horn is actually being a fighter, and so is Malinga. Malinga's normally a counter puncher.
A nice left hook then went in from Malinga. Caught Horn, took him for a moment, knocked his head back. Malinga getting in with that left hand.
Well, Malinga using, as you said, using that jab effectively here. Horn should be using the jab, but Malinga's beating him to it.
Well, it's certainly turning into a free-for-all. There's no holds and no running around in this fight. They're getting on with the business.
Horn's got to look out for those eyes as well, Len. He's got a Welsh above his left eye already from all the overhand rights that Malinga's penetrating.
Well, of course, that's what cost him his challenge for the Intercontinental title.
That's
when
right.
He fought Uriah Grant down in Miami. He was stopped on cut eyes.
Well, some nice combinations coming in there from Horn as we were speaking about his eyes there. A fantastic left hook there by Sugarboy Malinga. Horn's got to keep his hands up. After he jabs, he's got to pull that right hand back.
Well,
that left hand, I should say.
Brett, you lost your title on the same bill as these two fought for the first time.
That's right, Leonard, and Malinga won the title that time, but Horn came back in the 12th round and dropped Malinga twice. So Horn has got a bit of power. Malinga must watch out for it.
Yes, Malinga, I think, won the first 11 rounds and then was all over the floor in the last round.
That's right.
Well, Len, you know, the first minute of this round belonged to Malinga, but now Horn's taking over. Some nice crisp punches.
Horn moving in better. He's dropping himself into that short half hook, half uppercut into the body, and I think that's having a telling effect on Malinga.
Malinga, if I might say, is looking tired here in the second round. He's probably trying to break through into a second win, but he is looking rather tired here in the second round.
I think those body blows are having a little bit of effect. Horn
yes, and it's been a very
fast
fast pace for these big guys.
Tremendous pace for chaps of this size. Can they keep it up for 12 rounds?
But we all know Sakkie Horn is a very fit fellow, so Malinga's going to have to keep up his work rate. Good round here for both fighters.
Leonard, Malinga, at the age of 30, hasn't got too much time on his side. That's why I think he's fighting so desperately tonight. So he can't really afford to lose at this stage.
Yes, well, he's actually on the way down, if you think of it, because he lost his chance for the world title, then he fought for the Intercontinental title. He lost that, disputed maybe, but he lost it. And so now he's back to South African title fights. Where can he go from here?
That's right.
You know, Len, once again, that second round was a very even round. I'm going to stick my neck out and make it a Sakkie Horn round, but a very evenly contested round.
A tight round, but I do agree with you. I think Horn got in the more of the cleaner shots.
And I would say the last 2 minutes belonged to Horn, where the first minute was all Malinga. I'm known to be Mr. Controversial with the scoring, so I'm going to stick my neck out and go for a Sakkie Horn round.
Well, you keep the scorecard, Brian. We'll see what happens at the end of the night.
That's right. Well, we listen to Harold Forbrad's advice in the corner there.
Harold's telling Sakkie to jab and move, which I think is good advice.
That's right. He's got to get it behind that jab and start moving. Even though the ring is small, he's got to move.
Well, it's into the third round, and if the pace can keep up as it has been in the first two, this is going to be one whiz of a fight.
Both fighters, funny enough, Len, take a very good punch. Neither fighter been really badly knocked out in his career.
Yes, they both have a record of being able to absorb punishment pretty well.
That's right, very tough fighters, both of them. We see a nice left hook by Sugarboy Malinga. Beautiful overhand right followed by left hook. Horn's got to keep that left hand up.
Steadier at the moment and looking more precise in what he's doing.
Horn's going to get into serious trouble if he doesn't pick that left hand up, because Malinga sensed that, and the Malinga corner have told him, you got to work that overhand right. That's a good punch to throw against Sakkie Horn.
Yeah, when Horn jabs, he lifts his right hand back and he leaves himself open for left hook there, Bron.
That's right, the left hook and the overhand right.
Yeah.
Malinga's got the better defense here so far, but Horn's throwing more punches.
Malinga getting in this round in the beginning with that left hand to the head, and that's what Horn has to watch, because those cuts are vulnerable.
Well, once again, the first minute of this round belongs to Sugarboy Malinga. Let's see if he can pull off this round.
He's getting back into his old style of shrugging that left shoulder and dropping behind it.
That's it, Leonard, but it's good to see both boys going for the body at times, which is a point sorely missed in pro boxing these days.
That's right, it's a good point, Brett. It's nice to see that these fighters are working the body. You see the light heavyweight squad too often just being headhunters, and both fighters are working the body well. Oh, some nice combinations there, crispy punches from Sugarboy Malinga. Working the body in the head. It's all Malinga, yeah, even in the second minute of this round.
Both using the left jab well. Horn opened up Malinga for a moment there, but he didn't seem to follow through.
Sakkie's got to get on his bicycle and start running and jabbing.
Oh, a nice left.
Malinga's the stronger fighter. Here we see once again.
Return.
But as we said earlier, Len, very exciting fight here for the South African light heavyweight title.
Well,
Jumbo Cash and Caddy's really put together a nice show here.
There's about 1,500 people packed this audience in this little venue, and they certainly are enjoying it, because they certainly are roaring their approval.
Once again, Sakkie Horn got tagged with a terrific left hook, and he seemed slightly dazed.
Sakkie needs to listen to his trainer's advice and jab and move, but I think he wants to prove a point here tonight, that he's just as strong as Malinga.
That's right, and that's going to be his fault if he goes there and tries to mix it the whole night and to be aggressive. He's the better boxer, and he's got to use that to his advantage. This round's been all Sugarboy Malinga. Nice jab there from Sakkie Horn, solid jab.
Sakkie opening up his man with that left jab. When he does get into it, he uses it properly and effectively. But if he takes many more left hands in the face like that, those eyes are likely to go. Well, the end of another very tight round.
Well, Sakkie Horn ended that round well with two terrific left hooks, but definitely a Sugarboy Malinga round. No doubt in my mind that Sugarboy Malinga controlled that round.
Well, you'd say at this stage it's a bit of a yo-yo fight. The statistics actually show Malinga scored 38 punches, 27 to Horn, so
that's right.
As you can see, agrees with you.
As you can see on the statistics there, that Malinga's throwing less punches but more effective punches in that round, and that's exactly how I saw the round as well.
Yes, he's more inclined to pick his punches than Horn at this stage. Horn's getting perhaps a little bit wild at times.
As Brett said, Sakkie Horn's got to listen to his corner now and get on his bicycle and start using that jab. He's the better boxer and he must use it.
Don't you think now that the problem coming up here is that this small ring is telling on Horn's style?
Well, it doesn't really matter always on the size of the ring, Len. It depends on your distance. You've got to work out your own distance, and he's going and fighting. He's got to just start moving more. Use the ropes a lot and move.
Well, he's certainly doing it now. He's on the bicycle and he's moving around.
That's right. As our words weren't cold, and Sakkie Horn came out and started moving.
Gets tagged with another left hook to the head. The moment he stops, Malinga finds the point and lets go at him. But Horn is pushing him back.
Well, Malinga avoiding some nice punches there.
Sakkie doesn't seem to be finding his range as easily as Malinga is.
Not as effective as in the second round. The second round was an excellent round for Horn.
Sugarboy is a pretty elusive fighter, and he manages to slip a lot of Sakkie's punches and comes back with a cross right.
Well, there we see that left hook again penetrating Sakkie Horn. He's got to pick up his hands. His defense is poor compared to Sugarboy Malinga's, although his punch rate is very high.
I think there's been a belief that Malinga is well on the slide and easy pickings, but on the way he's going around here, it doesn't look like he's sliding too far.
Well, no, he's fighting a good fight, but both fighters are fighting a good fight here. Sakkie Horn, as we said earlier on, is a very fit fighter, so we're going to see him here until the 12th round. And it's going to be interesting to see which fighter actually tires first in the later rounds.
Yes, I think that's going to tell a lot, because Sakkie can really come back well towards the end. We saw it when he defended his title against Howden Papezi in Durban.
That's
he
right.
Came back so strong.
That's right. Another nice overhand right there by Sugarboy Malinga. But these rounds are all very even, so it's obviously going to depend on the judges. Our scoring is very unofficial. But Sakkie Horn is a guy that comes back in the later rounds, very similar to myself. And that might suit him in this fight.
Well, right now it's the 4th round. Malinga versus Horn on this jumbo cigarette spill.
Well, Sakkie Horn once again making the mistake of trying to match Sugarboy for strength. Malinga, you can see even by his body, is the stronger fighter. Horn has got to stick that jab out and box.
Well, I was just going to say that's what he should be doing, because there he pushed the jab and neatly pushed Malinga's head right back. And that's what Sakkie must be doing more. You can't afford to walk in like that. He'll get caught.
He's walking into those uppercuts of Malinga continuously.
He's getting hit with a lot of left hooks on the inside as well, very unnecessary. Left uppercuts and left hooks. And a terrific overhand right there from Sugarboy Malinga. If it was any average fighter, he would have gone down from a punch like that. But Sakkie Horn's a very tough fighter, very durable. Some nice body work from Horn, but Malinga comes back with that left hook.
One thing I'm pleased to see is that although there's a lot of body punching, Malinga's keeping his blows up. He's not going anywhere near that dangerous target that he made in the last fight when he was disqualified.
That's right. Well, in judging that 4th round, I'm going to pick Malinga once again on superior defense. Sakkie Horn's got to pick his hands up. He's getting caught with too many unnecessary punches.
So you give that to another Malinga round?
I'm going to make that a Malinga round.
Which at this stage puts Malinga 1 point ahead on your scorecard.
That's right. Unofficially on my scorecard, Malinga's slightly up on points.
This time, funnily enough, the computer says that Horn landed 27 punches as against 25 by Malinga.
Well, I'm going to argue with the computer on that round. Then I saw Malinga landing the effective punches. I don't know how you feel, Brett.
It certainly looked like it to me.
I have to agree with you, Brian. Malinga's punches were more effective, and as you say, had the better defense and is making Sakkie miss a lot.
That's
so
right.
I'd have to go with Malinga for that round.
Well, here we come into round 5. 5 of a scheduled 12. The South African light heavyweight title fight. Sakkie Horn defending against Sugarboy Malinga.
Leonard, it's amazing to believe these guys are light heavyweights. The action that we've seen here tonight. Light heavyweights are usually regarded as being slow in that, but different story here tonight.
Yes, there's been a lot of action here in the first 5 rounds. A lot of punches thrown for light heavyweights. A lot of speed and a lot of hard punching. And you can see both fighters are in excellent condition. I said in the second, terrific overhand right from Sugarboy Malinga. I was mentioning in the second round that Malinga was looking tired, but he's definitely picked up his second wind and looking good right now.
Malinga seems to be able to get in with that left hook constantly and then suddenly unleashes that overhand right to the head. He's catching Horn with it. There he caught him with a good left-right.
Left-right combination there from Malinga. Nice punch.
Sakkie's coming in, moving in on his man, but his punching doesn't seem to be quite as crisp.
Yes, Horn is holding his own on the inside. He's landing a few good punches, but not as crisp as Malinga's. Malinga's are looking a lot more effective. They're bouncing Sakkie Horn's head back all the time.
Yes, I really thought Sakkie would have used more of the strong straight left jab, which he hasn't been doing to any great extent.
Nice straight left combination from Horn there. He's got to use more of those straight punches. The shorter punches on the inside all belong to Sugarboy Malinga.
There, the Horn left went in and it pushed Malinga's head back.
Terrific jab. That's the Horn jab. There we see the Horn jab. That's the jab he's got to use if he wants to retain his title here tonight.
Horn seems to be bleeding from the left ear.
The left ear, that's strange enough. Well, that's better than his ear, Len. That's better than his eye, I should say.
Oh!
There, a short left hook from Malinga. I think it was half the punch and Horn going backwards actually stumbled.
Well, then from this angle,
given an 8 count.
From this angle, it looked like Horn was off balance, but the referee gave him an 8 count, so it's going to count against him there.
Yeah, Malinga did land a punch, not a very telling one, but Horn was going backwards, and I think he tripped over his own feet.
Well, that's going to make it a 10-8 round for Malinga. So Horn's going to have to pick up the pace if he wants to retain his title tonight.
Horn is so much more effective when he's using that jab, not boxing him, but he wants to mix it with Malinga tonight.
That's right, Brett. He needs that distance. He needs to stick that jab and move. Right, as he's doing now. Stick the jab, but pick the left hand up when it comes back. He's not bringing his left hand back quick enough.
Brian, especially with him being at the disadvantage that he can bleed on his eyes, as he did in the last fight.
That's right. You would think he would pick his hands up.
Well, it's certainly stepping up the pace again at the end of this 5th round. Malinga moving in and looking for the openings. Horn trying to push him away with that left jab. And there's the end of a really hectic 5th round.
Oh, that's going to be a Malinga 10-8 round because of that knockdown there. Horn started doing some nice jabbing, but he's coming on a bit late with the jab in this fight. He's going to have to start working more. He's going to have to start moving more and using that jab, as we said earlier. Well, there we see the statistics there.
Yes, there we are in the corner of Malinga.
30 punches landed by Malinga to 26 by Horn.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see in slow motion the knockdown.
Well, there we watch the slow motion. We're waiting for the knockdown.
Here, and you see Horn trying to push. But that was the end of the round, and here we're in Horn's corner where they're working on that ear. The ear seems to be cut just inside the earlobe. But no, I don't think there's any real trouble there. It's a nick more than anything else. Round 6 coming up.
Well, we're getting into the middle of the fight, Len, and Sakkie Horns behind on points on our unofficial scorecard.
Yeah, he's trailing now, which means that he really has to come on in the second half.
And of course, for the fans at home, you must know that our scorecard is very unofficial. It's totally different to what the judges are scoring out there.
Well, I think at this stage it's as good as any. Tentative movement. I wonder if they're not going to have a bit of a breather now. The pace has been tremendous for two big men in this fight.
I think Malinga may take a breather, but Sakkie Horns got no time to breathe. Len, he's got to get in there and work.
Horns got to move it, yes. There's the left jab, and he's got to keep that jab going, but he must push it, not flick it.
That's right, it's got to be a solid jab.
No, he's telegraphing his right hand, and that's why Malinga manages to slip it. Break. But before this tournament, Horn told me it's going to end Malinga's career. He's going to have to pick up his work rate if he intends to end that, Ron.
Well, he'll have to do a lot the way things have been going if he's going to end it in the next 7 rounds.
Right, well, we're into the 6th round here, and Malinga's taking control once again of this round with some crisp short hooks. And Sakkie's going to really have to start penetrating with those straight punches. That straight left and right will work for him. He's just got to use it.
He seems to have this inclination, though, to push the left and then fall onto Malinga with the right instead of standing off. I think he's a bit over-eager to try and get him close, where he doesn't really belong.
As you said earlier, Sakkie's fighting slightly out of character. You know, he normally moves a lot more and uses his speed. And he's trying to be a fighter tonight. And that could be a disadvantage for him.
Well, Malinga trying to do the old peekaboo act there and bob and weave out of the way, but Horn did catch him with a few good shots.
Well, they're landing 1 for 1 there. Then Sakkie Horn, I must say, got the better of that exchange. It just looks like Malinga's getting the better because he's got his head in the air.
Well, when Malinga starts opening up and swinging, he's inclined to get picked off by Horn because he leaves himself open for once.
That's right.
Not an easy target to hit is Malinga. That awkward style of his, the way he seems to propel his left shoulder in front of his chin.
Well, it's a nice first minute here, going into the 2nd minute for Sakkie Horn so far. And he needs this round. He desperately needs this round.
Sakkie coming right back into this one. He's looking a lot better. He's taking a couple of punches, but looking a good deal more
That's right,
determined.
he's looking better. Malinga's looking a bit shot-worn here in this round. He's taking a breather from that last round.
He's starting to fight behind his jab, Ron, but he still tends to lift his head up at times and get caught.
That's right, he's got to keep his head down and keep his foot down. But Sakkie Horn fighting well here in the 6th round.
Sakkie coming back on him. Malinga not quite as fiery as he was in the first 5 rounds. Perhaps taking a breather, or did he burn himself out just that little bit? But that was certainly a a better looking Horn in that round.
Definitely a better looking, sharper looking Horn. And hopefully now you'll pick up the pace in the last 6 rounds because, well, I'm going to make it a Sakkie Horn round 10-9. But he's still slightly behind on our unofficial scorecard.
Well, that's the... There we are at the halfway stage.
Well, Len, if we look at the statistics there, it looks like I'm having an argument once again with the computer. They've got 27 punches landed by Horn and 28 by Malinga. I'm going to call it a Sakkie Horn round.
Oh, I agree with you there. That was a much better... Malinga didn't really do a lot of work in that round. He was content to lie back and take a breather, I think.
That's right. He does look effective now and then because he swings and Sakkie Horn's head is in the air. But Malinga really had a good round there in the 6th round.
Well, at this stage, at the halfway stage, you actually on your scorecard, I can see, have Malinga ahead by 3 points. Of course, helped along by that 10-8 5th round, but 3 points ahead.
That's right.
Sakkie Horn has to pull out everything.
Sakkie Horn needs a few rounds, yeah. He needs to pull a few rounds into the bag, yeah.
He really needs to go for it now. And go for it looks like he intends doing because he's come right forward into the battle from the beginning. The left hand is going better.
He's been throwing nice punches throughout the fight, Sakkie Horn, and I just wish he'd pick his hands up. Because Sugarboy Malinga's swinging, but he's penetrating because Horn's hands are down.
Brian, he's starting to use a bit of speed now, not put so much effort into his punching now. Seems more effective.
That's right. That's been his key to victory in most of his fights. He's known not to be a puncher, but he wins his fights with his hand speed, and that's what he's got to get into now.
Well, Horn, of course, is becoming very stereotyped in that there isn't much combination work coming from him. It's a left jab, occasional right. But he's not doing a great deal more than that.
That's right. Then when you become a puncher, you slow down and you start throwing very few punches to land a hard punch. When you're a boxer with hand speed, you throw a lot more punches. And that's, as I said, has been Horn's key to his success so far in his past fights. He's got to get down there and throw a lot of punches.
Don't go too low. Take it too low.
Brett, at this stage, what would you tell Horn if you were in his corner? What would you be telling him to do right now?
Well, Lennon, at this point in this round, I think he's doing the right thing. He's sticking behind his jab and moving like that. That is his style, and that's how he's won most of his fights. As Brian said, he was very uncharacteristic earlier on, but he seems much more effective now. So I'd say stick to this.
You think he's now settling into his proper style, his proper action?
That's what I say, Len. And another point, Horn is regarded as one of the fittest fighters in the country. He's got a pulse rate of 46, which is remarkable. I think he'll come into his own now.
Yeah, well, it's that pulse rate that'll carry him through in a tough fight like this because the pressure is really on here. And it's going to be interesting to see. Malinga was 60 in pulse rate at the pre-fight medical, so...
Some nice crisp punches there. Sorry, Len, some nice crisp punches landed there by Sakkie Horn. Short left and right on the inside. He's starting to put it together now. Just got to keep those hands up. There we see Malinga hitting him with some bombs there.
He was tagged there by a left hook by Malinga. Had Malinga's corner jumping up and shouting for more, but that's a solitary punch landed by Malinga.
Once again, if I can say, Len, nothing fantastic about Malinga's punches there. It's just that they're wild, and Sakkie Horn's got his head in the air, so he's asking to be hit. Horn landing some crisp punches on the inside.
Certainly isn't the same flow of punches coming from Malinga as there was in the first 5 rounds. His punch rate has dropped down considerably. He's still throwing punches, but not as many as before.
No, Leonard, Malinga's been fighting as a super middleweight. I wonder if going up a division now can affect him.
Well, he used to be a light heavyweight, and I think there's, he went from middles to light heavies.
That's right.
And he thought he was the light heavyweight champion, right? But here, very good close range work, and the referee has to stop him throwing punches at the end after the gong goes.
Well, once again, a very good round. Then 7th round, difficult to call. I'm going to be unbiased and call it an even round. I don't know how you guys feel.
Very difficult. The computer actually says that Horn landed 5 more punches than Malinga, 32 to 27.
Right.
So maybe...
well, maybe it's a Sakkie Horn fight. If I wanted to call it somebody's way, I would... Well, let's be daring and call it a Sakkie Horn round.
I think you might be right, because if you look back at it, Horn was actually, we were saying it, was getting into his stride and was landing more cleaner punches.
That's right, and just interesting to the viewers out there as well. We just listen to the corner there. The boxing board actually tells the judges that they must try and make a decision.
number 8. A tough, hard first 7 rounds in this fight. It's been a grueling battle all the way. No give, no take. It was a case of 1 for 1 most of the way. It's been a tight fight, and apart from that knockdown in the 5th round, there hasn't been very much in it.
That's right, Len. It's been a lot more than 1 for 1, but they've definitely been hitting each other with a lot of punches here tonight. A very exciting light heavyweight fight, and I'm sure a nice fight for the fans and the viewers at home.
Well, they've never failed to excite in their fights up to now. This is their 4th meeting, and they've all been exciting fights. Always a good match, and not a lot between them in any other bouts.
As you said, no love lost between these two fighters in a very evenly contested fight. Both fighters deserve to be the South African light heavyweight champion, but unfortunately only one man can win here tonight.
At the moment, Malinga stepping up the rate again, coming back into the fight. He's had a couple of quiet rounds and he seems to be moving in on it again.
Yes, Malinga using his jab effectively here in the first minute of this round. Here we see a nice Malinga left hook.
Hooking well with that left hook again. He's bringing the left hook back into play. He hasn't used it in the last 2 rounds. There he catches Horn with it. A very short, snappy punch that was.
Strange enough, both fighters are hitting each other with left hooks. The only difference is Malinga's got his hands up and Horn's got his hands down.
Break.
I must credit Malinga on his defense. He's got a very good defense.
Horn's gone on the attack again when he was more effective jabbing like that. As Tremaine, Harold Colbert shouting him from the corner to keep on boxing.
That's right, he must start listening to Harold's advice now and starting picking the punches and moving a lot.
That left hand must go, it must flow.
My advice to Sakkie Horn at this stage of the fight would be to throw as many punches as possible. Stop trying to throw hard punches and just get your speed moving and throw a lot of punches.
And
impress the judges.
Range, don't you think? More long range
and
short
more
range.
long range, that's right.
At long range, he does have it over Malinga when he does keep him going.
The only problem is at long range, if your distance is not right, you get caught with Malinga's swings. So he's got to keep his hands up. But both fighters working the jab well here in this round.
This is a toughie round. This one, they really are going pretty close. And it's
both fighters seem a bit tired in this round, Len. You don't blame them. It's been one heck of a pace.
The pace has been tremendous.
They deserve to take a slight breather here. Although they're both still working great guns here.
The number of punches thrown is really phenomenal for a light heavyweight bout.
That's right.
You don't see light heavyweights throw punches at this rate.
This could be one of their most exciting bouts out of the 4 bouts they've had. As we said, both fighters...
The computer's showing us they're throwing somewhere around about 150 punches around between them, which is phenomenal for men of the size.
Which is excellent for these light heavyweights. As you said, both fighters have come out of a loss for intercontinental titles, and they both desperately are looking for victory here.
Stop! And again, referee Bukwana has to jump between them to stop him at the end of the round. So eager is the fight, and Willie Tawil protesting there to the referee against Horn having thrown a punch after the got went. Well, there we see it. Exactly 27 punches landed by Horn, 28 by Malinga. Well, that's an even round if ever you get one.
Well, that just shows you how close the rounds are, actually. And there's very little difference between them. 27 and 28, that's what the computer's counting. And that's exactly how we see it, an even round. Very closely contested fight.
What we were saying, there we are, 139 punches thrown by both men, between the men.
That's right, which is phenomenal for the light heavyweight division.
Colbert's managed to stem the flow great from Sakkie.
Jab, right, jab, right. Come on, boy. Awesome. Right.
Both corners now urging their fighters on to use that jab and to get busy.
Round number 9, 4 to go in this light heavyweight title bout on the Jumbo Cash and Carry bill in the Nasrec Indoor Arena.
Well, Len, on my unofficial scorecard, I've got this fight so even that these last 3 rounds are going to call the new South African light heavyweight champion or the champion retaining his title, whichever way it goes.
Yes,
it's a very close fight.
The way you've been scoring, you still have Malinga possibly a couple of points ahead. And Horn's going to have to come into it now, best foot forward and keep the pressure on Malinga. And that's the way to do it. That jabbing left and then the long raking right.
John, I suggest Sakkie Horns going to have to pile on the pressure because I can't see this fight ending inside the distance.
No, definitely not, Brett. Both fighters look very fit. And as we said earlier on, they both take a very good punch. So this is going to be a 12-round fight. I've got no doubt about that. But Sakkie's going to have to pick his work rate up if he wants to retain his title. Malinga using the jab very effectively here in this 8th round. 9th round, I should say.
Two good jabs from both men. And
Malinga draws Sakkie time and again and catches him with that left hook. You think he'd keep his hands up on now?
Malinga actually using the left jab rather effectively.
Malinga using it very effectively.
Horn quite a lot with it.
Well, that is a hook off a jab. Not many pros use that punch, and it's a great punch.
And a left right to the head catches the Horn. Malinga punching very effectively.
The Sakkie Horns' left eye now seems to be quite badly cut. There's a lot of blood in his eye. And I think that's going to urge Sugarboy Malinga on.
That left eye is cut and it's bleeding.
Sugarboy Malinga's all over Sakkie Horn in this round.
Blood pouring down Horn's chest, down his shoulder. And Malinga's corner shouting to him
Horn's
to
eye
get in and
doesn't
make
look it.
use of it. This is the big moment for Malinga. And he's catching Horn, banging his head back with left jab.
Sugarboy Malinga having a good round here, throwing some nice punches. Sakkie in a bit of trouble with that eye.
Horn trying to brush the blood away. It's worrying him. The cut itself, I think, is just underneath the eyebrow.
That's right, a very disturbing place as well, Len, because the blood's actually running into his eye.
This could swing the tide of battle here because it's been close all the way with Malinga perhaps slightly ahead, and this could really be Malinga's chance to get right on top.
That's right, this could be the turning point in the fight. As we said, unofficially we've got Malinga maybe slightly ahead, but we're not sure how the judges have got it. Malinga having a good round here.
Horn collecting the jabs there, one after the other. Malinga pushing them in and getting his man.
Sakkie Horn battling with that eye now. It's really bothering him.
Referee Bukwana moving around them and having a good look at that eye each time he gets close to Horn.
It's affecting his eyesight and he's getting caught with the right hand.
It's a nasty cut in a very, very awkward place. Now it's going to have to be really hard work by Harold Volbrecht and co in the corner there. Well, I think that's really pushing Malinga into the front here.
That's right, well then that's a Malinga round. Sakkie Horn started the round off well, but as we look at the statistics there, it's definitely a Malinga round. 42 punches landed to 31. And Sakkie Horn battling with that eye now, so it's going to be a major problem in these last 3 rounds.
Well, then it's been a tremendous fight so far, and probably the most action I've ever seen in a light heavyweight title fight in this country for a long time.
Certainly has. Brian, this must make you think a little bit back to that Jackie Beard fight.
That's right.
The first one when you had that bad cut.
You know, I hate watching fighters get a bad cut in a fight now. It really brings back bad memories.
I think this is where you really need an Ace Murata in the corner.
That's right. You need a good cut man like Ace out there.
Well, here we go. Into the 10th, 3 rounds to go, and will that eye stand the strain?
Well, as I said earlier on, Sakkie Horn should have kept that left hand up from the beginning of the fight. And that's where he's got that problem now.
He's walking forward into Malinga. Malinga looking for that overhand swinging right that will land on the eye. That's his one aim now, obviously. Go for the eye.
Well, Sakkie Horn's eye didn't take long to open. 15 seconds into this round, and the blood's streaming out there again. It looks like it's a nasty cut from this angle.
The blood trickling down. Horn desperately trying to keep it close, I think. Trying to get in close as that long swinging right doesn't get to the target.
Horn makes the mistake of actually pulling back and then leaving his hands down, and Malinga just swings and catches him with a swing. There we see a nice short left
to the head there too.
John, I think Horn can see the title slipping away. That's why he's putting on all the pressure.
That's right, he's got to put on the pressure, but he's not using enough speed here, you know, Brett. He's trying to fight a strength fight with a strong boy like Malinga, and he's fighting the wrong fight.
Yes, we expect now that he would really be on the bicycle and jabbing, moving as fast as he could to keep away from those punches.
That's right, you know, normally Sakkie Horn moves and he uses a lot of speed. And all credit to Harold Volbrecht, he's improved on his strength. Oh, Sugarboy Malinga seems to be in trouble there.
2 left jabs and a right hand from Horn hurt Malinga there.
They hurt him there. It shook his head back there.
There is Horn doing the right thing, pushing the left out. Putting it with power behind it.
Well, Sugarboy Malinga looked to be in trouble, but his legs seem okay. I think that blood coming out of Sakkie Horn's eyes spurring him on. Sakkie Horns got to pull everything out the bag here. He's got to go out there and work now. He's got to fight his heart out if he wants to retain this title.
At this stage, I'd say there doesn't seem to be a lot of zip in Sugarboy Malinga's punches. That's one of the telling factors. He's swinging them.
Well, strangely enough, this is a Sakkie Horn round. Len, you know, he's putting on the pressure, landing some crisp punches, and he looks like he's getting back into the fight.
He's getting back into it, and Sugarboy is not quite not the same zip in his blows as he had before.
That's right. Malinga looking a bit sloppy in this round. Maybe he threw a lot out in the last round.
I think the pressure's starting to tell a little bit on him. Swinging more in desperation than anything else there, and hope.
Horn slipping those swings now.
It isn't the same composed Malinga as there was a bit earlier on.
Nice Horn here, nice round for Sakkie Horn.
Sakkie appears to be back to his normal self. I think that eye did the trick for him.
That's right, Brett. He's got to fight the next 2 rounds like he's fighting this round, if he wants to be in with a chance of even getting a draw from the judges. Terrific left hook to finish the round off there by Sugarboy Malinga. Well, I'm going to call that a Sakkie Horn round, most definitely.
I think I agree with you. That was definitely one of Sakkie's better rounds in the fight.
One of his better rounds. He seemed composed, as Brett said early on, and Malinga seemed to be throwing wildly and looking a bit sloppy.
And at this stage, well, the computer agrees with you slightly, 31 to 29 in favour of Horn.
Right, and as we got it unofficially here, Len, Malinga up on points by 1 point. So
Malinga 1 point ahead, 2 rounds to go.
And that's obviously unofficial. The judges could even have it as close as an even fight. So these next 2 rounds are crucial for both fighters.
It really is going to be a crucial end. It's going to be 2 of the toughest rounds of all, I think, because Horn has really got to dominate these 2 rounds now if he wants to keep that title.
Well, there we're going to the 11th round. Sakkie Horn's eyes closed up nicely now, but we'll see how long it takes before it opens again.
Harold seems to have done a pretty good job on it in between both rounds. Well, it did come out in the middle half of the last round, but second half. But
yes, he's done a nice job.
I think it's standing up to the strain.
Well, this is round 11, and as we said, it's a very crucial round for, I would say, especially for Sakkie Horn, seeing that he's the champion. And Malinga being very effective in the earlier rounds. So he's got to get out there, Horn, and win both these rounds if he wants to retain his title.
Well, the eye has gone again. It's starting to bleed. But
Horn must keep on moving, because he mustn't give Sugarboy a chance to set himself to land the punches.
To settle down, I agree with you, Brett. He's got to move and he's got to use speed. He's got to throw a lot of punches now. That's what he's got to do to win this fight.
The thing is, he hasn't been doing enough. I think the foot work has been the problem. He's been too solid. He hasn't moved around enough.
That's right. And there we see 1 for 1 the fight.
Malinga with a nice right hand to the head.
Well, it's 1 for 1 again. Oh, and Malinga coming back with a nice overhand right. And it's right on the button on that cut there.
Left jabs exchanged, both landing.
Well, it's 1 for 1 here in this first minute of this 11th round. Excellent fight.
They've kept the pace going fantastically well all the way through. This has really been a grueling, tough, hard battle.
Well, really, hats off to both these light heavyweights, Len. They well conditioned tonight, and they both came here to win. They're really fighting their hearts out. It's a pity there has to be a winner here tonight.
We've got a round and a half to go, and I've got a fear that we're going to have another controversial decision, and they're going to look forward to a 5th fight.
Well, so far Malinga seems to be getting the effective punches in here. So if Horn wants to win this fight, he's got to work now. And the crowd are edging Malinga on. They want him to win.
Malinga coming right back into it.
Horn caught Malinga with the nice right thing.
Horn's got to put the pressure on. He's catching Malinga with some nice punches.
Horn coming in very well
here. He's not staying there. He's got to stay there. Close round this, and once again a very close round. It's 1 for 1. He's got to finish this round stronger than Malinga and impress the judges.
He has to stay on top of Malinga now. He can't afford to do the running at this stage. And you do get the impression looking at them that Horn's fitness is just that little bit better, perhaps. Malinga...
That's right, then, but Malinga getting in the crisper punches.
Looking strong, but...
Malinga's definitely landing the crisper and harder punches at this stage.
Well, a nice right hand once again by Sakkie Horn, but then he gets caught with overhand right. That's 1 for 1, jab for jab. There we see jab for jab once again.
What a battle this has been. And there again, referee has to stop him at the end of the round. Punches being thrown after the gong.
Oh, Len, that's a tough round to call. I'm not even going to call that round. I'm going to leave that to the official judges.
Well, the computer says it was a Malinga round.
The computer says a Malinga
36 to 25.
Right, a very even round. Well, we'll have to go with the computer, Len. If the computer says Malinga, we're going to have to go with him.
A very hard round to score, I agree.
This fight's so close. This last round is crucial.
According to your scorecard, Brian, Horn needs to win it by 2 points for a draw, the last round.
I would say Horn needs to win this round big. Definitely a big 2-point win for him now. But as we said, Brett, is very unofficial. We don't know what the judges are scoring. But from what we can see from the top here, definitely Sakkie Horn needs a big round.
Oh, it's going to be a final round that's going to really decide this. And I think it's going to be a hectic final round. I think they both know that it's what will sway the judges now is what they do. Last round, Sugarboy Malinga and Sakkie Horn in a tight, close battle, a grueling light heavyweight title contest.
I think we're going to see an excellent round here. Both these fighters still got a lot of steam left in them, and they've started this round off fast. Some good body punching there by Malinga.
Malinga actually getting in with some snappy blows right at the beginning of the round here. Horn very tentative. I thought Horn would come out with more fire, and he's not.
Yes. Malinga's actually beating him to the jab.
Jabbing very nicely as Malinga and looking good at it.
Oh, nice right hand there by Sakkie Horn. He's got to penetrate with a couple more of those.
Oh, and another nice
Once again, a nice right hand by Horn.
Malinga's showing the crisper punches again. Horn's not picking his punches at all.
Yes, Horn suddenly catching his man. Is this going to be a repeat, Brett, of that fight when you were on the same bill when Horn went down 3?
It could be, Leonard. Anything can happen yet tonight.
Well, it's Horn really looking for that opportunity now to drop his man. He's going with that right hand to the head.
Well, I think Sakkie Horn's corner has told him, you need this last round big. You've got to go out there and win this round.
He has to go into it. He has to move in now and throw.
And we're not even sure
hand.
if winning this round is going to make him retain his title.
Malinga catches him on that eye again.
Well, there we go, jab for jab.
Yeah, it's the blood is getting in his eye and he's battling to see at the stage.
And I think both of them perhaps a little tired now, but there was a good punch.
Well, Sakkie Horn seemed to be stunned there. He's fortunate that he fell onto Sugarboy Malinga. And Malinga didn't pick it up, that he actually hurt him with that left hook. With that right hook, I should say.
Malinga's getting in that jab.
So Malinga's stealing this
moving
round.
forward and really going for his man. Horn having to push that left hand out to try and keep his man away, but the blood flowing freely into the eye now. Another left hook from Malinga. That's been a very good punch of Malinga's right through this fight.
That's right. That left hook followed by that overhand right has been good punches.
There goes
And
the
again
overhand
he
right
catches
through
him,
it.
and he's going.
Horn goes backward. Malinga coming in on top of his
Well,
man
it's Malinga
now.
all over Horn here in second.
Oh, and a good right hand from Malinga. Horn not at all comfortable at the moment. Horn's not too comfortable.
It's all Sugarboy Malinga, left and
catching
right.
him over the top.
Sakkie Horn seems to be in desperate trouble.
Malinga
All Sugarboy
really putting
Malinga.
on the pressure here.
Malinga's piling on the pressure.
I think even he's weary, but he's pulling out that last bit of effort that he's got, that last bit of strength in his body.
Well, as we said,
to
this
go
is the big
into
round
Horn
that
here.
Sakkie Horn needed, and he's definitely not getting it.
Too much. I
It's a
think that
Sugarboy
was
Malinga round.
Malinga's round.
Well, it's a tremendous fight, Len, and I've got to go with Malinga.
What a tremendous fight it was. What a great light heavyweight battle. Brian, Malinga the winner.
I think Sakkie Horn's big fault in this fight was his defense, Len. I think Sugarboy Malinga proved tonight that he's got the better defense. A very close fight. And a very exciting fight, especially for the fans. The fans enjoyed it. The viewers at home, I'm sure, enjoyed it. And we certainly enjoyed it up here.
En die groot actie het in hierdie laaste ronde gekom van
Brian Mitchell I think we have Malinga the winner.
I've got Malinga a slight winner on points here, but obviously we've got to wait for the judges, and it's the judges' decision that's going to count.
You agree with that, Brett?
I agree with it. I've got Malinga winning by about 3 points.
2 or 3 points, I think, would be the margin. But certainly a great rally in the end there by Malinga. Dominated the early rounds.
And the crowd are throwing money in the ring, Len.
The crowd are raining coins into the ring. I'm glad we're sitting in a nice, comfortable position here, Len.
Well, it's good to see
those coins can really hurt you.
Being thrown into the ring like this. You don't often see it in a title bout.
That's right. Well, fantastic fight. Really a good fight. As I said, both fighters deserve to win here tonight, but unfortunately there can only be one winner. And we feel that Sugarboy Malinga did enough to win the South African light heavyweight title. It's going to make the score 2 each with the 2 fighters, so it'll make for a thrilling 5th encounter.
It looks like this wasn't, as Sakkie Horn said before the fight. I think this is really the once and for all. Even he was wrong. I think the public, the promoters will want another one. That was really a terrific battle.
That's right, but let's not put the horse before the cart. We've got to wait for the judge's decision.
And there, doing a jive in the middle of the ring, is Malinga's trainer, Willie Tauwheel. Obviously very confident that his man's done it. Well, we're awaiting the decision. Darren Scott has the scorecards in his hand.
Well, both fighters, credit to them, Len. They both were very fit tonight and they put up one hell of a show here.
The ringers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges score the fight as follows. Judge Martin scores it 117, 111. Judge Duplessis scores it 116, 115. Judge Schutter scores the fight 118, 113 for the winner and new South African light heavyweight champion, Thulani Sugarboy Malinga.
Well, there we have it. I think when you have the judges one by 6 points, one by 5 points, and one by 1 point, if you take the average, I think our scorecard was pretty accurate.
That's right, Len. I think our scorecard, I haven't even tallied it up, but it's 2 or 3 points to Malinga. And I think he was a worthy winner. But once again, a very closely contested fight and a good fight.
And with that, from Nasrec, it's good night to you from Leonard Neal, Brian Mitchell, and Brett Taylor.
Thank you.
Jumbo Cash and Carry, the big one, proudly brought you this live broadcast from the National Exhibition Centre in Johannesburg. Our special thanks to all those who made this broadcast possible. Stay tuned for our movie Goldfinger coming up shortly. Thank you for joining us this evening. From the Mnet team at ringside, a very good night to you all.